I'm here with the home of Jan, the Smalista champion and Ferrari's biggest fan, as we are now going to go to the round 2 of the 2025 Formula One World Championship, which will take place rather untraditionally at the Shanghai International Circuit. It is indeed time for the Chinese Grand Prix, and there are plenty of interesting things that we have to tell you here in this race introduction, which we are of course starting from this season 2025-2025. So once again, we will tell you everything about this round 2, which you can see on that lovely 2025-2025 calendar behind me, and we will then talk about just how successful we are. And I will also then describe just how successful I was actually, racing there in Shanghai, which obviously, is a place which you have to be a little bit careful when you go into, especially at the airport. Well, we have some experience from that. And we will then tell you everything about how the current drivers and constructors Formula One World Championship 2025-2025 looks like. And of course, we will tell you everything that you need to know so that we can become the Formula One Grand Prix winner and be lifting the trophy, which we sadly didn't lift in Australia. But I'm sure this race weekend is going to be much better. Well, it cannot get any worse, can it? So let's go, right? FORZA FERRARI! Alright, so let me tell you, with regards to the Shanghai International Circuit. Basically, this race introduction, we will always be aiming, to tell you exactly what we need to do in order to seize the lead of the championship, but also how we should win the race. And of course, stay tuned. Again, we will run this concurrently with practice 1, and then for the practice 2, you will then have the hot lap, which I will jump into this beautiful SF1000T and 1.8 Formula One racing simulator produced by Trustmaster for, of course, Scuderia Ferrari, and I will show you how to plant it on pole position. Then we will go for the red hot lap, where we will show you, and this time you will be maybe surprised at which point of the weekend I was the fastest, and just how planted the red Scarlet Ferrari can be over here around Shanghai, which of course the circuit itself features a lot of elevation changes, but also a lot of camber changes, as there are a lot of the bank turns. Definitely then watch the qualifying and the race of the second round of my 2024 Formula One season, because it's gonna be memorable, even though that's in Saudi Arabia, because as you probably noticed, due to the Ramadan, the first 5 races they take place in a different order, slightly at different dates. They did obviously last year. What a pity, otherwise pretty much the rest of it is almost the same, so then we could have always shown you everything at the same time. But yeah, again, the race calendars, they are always adjusted. Also, bear in mind that obviously Shanghai is the track closest to where we are based over here in Taipei City, Taiwan, which means that, of course, we do know the weather quite well, and the weather, it should be very hot and sunny. So that's a bit surprised, because in March it could also be very cold and windy and rainy, for example. But the forecast is for beautiful blue skies. The forecast is also for pretty hot weather in the mid-20s, almost high 20s. So again, we are close to the Tropic of Cancer over here, so that's why we were able to schedule the race so early in Shanghai as well. Might be a bit different in Suzuka. But one big change coming up is because obviously what happened in Australia raised few suspicions, right? So you had McLaren, for example, suddenly pulling half a second, not struggling with the tire wear, pulling half a second in the final part of the qualifying. So what is happening is that the FIA and the FIA, the International Federation that obviously governs Formula One, will impose stricter tests on especially the flexible wings, especially the rear and the front wings. So there is some suspicion that maybe McLaren in particular is bending the rules because no other team was having such a good time and such an easy time in terms of the tire degradation and in terms of having sufficient high downforce at Albert Park circuit. So I do believe that as Scuderia Ferrari, we can definitely win. Well, speaking of wins, how many wins did we get here, right? And just how successful we were ever since pretty much 2004, when the China came with a big foray onto the Formula One calendar. So over here, let's take a look. Let's use this beautiful Scuderia Red Ferrari I make, obviously produced by Apple, and we can then show you a little bit about how exactly, for example, the track looks like. So here you have the track, and we will introduce it in great detail. Obviously, you can see that we will run 56 laps, so very, very similar to Melbourne. Once again, we are the record holders over here. You can see that the lap record held by Michael Schumacher, because that track is pretty much unchanged since 2004. Really good flowing track. I've always run very strongly here, but Ferraris, we haven't been that strong. So over here you can see fastest time 1 minute 32.238, again set by Michael Schumacher, and the key point obviously is get the exit over here out of the banked turn just right, so that you can then activate the DRS and have a great top speed to overtake. For example, I've gotten some race victories here on the final lap at the end of this straight, so that will be interesting. Some championships were pretty much decided with our new driver Lewis Hamilton, because we are also sporting the another new fashion. So this is the new polo. Again, let me know how you like it. We know the HP logo must be there. Sadly, maybe it should have been in different color, probably in red, white, or even yellow or golden would work just fine. So let me know how you like it. But yeah, you can see that's where basically Lewis Hamilton lost one of the titles. Otherwise, he could have been an 8-time world champion. As a result, Kimi Raikkonen won the last title for Ferrari. So let's hope that we can win a bit more there. And yeah. Over here we will introduce all of it to you. Obviously the turn 1 is over here, and yeah, this circuit you can see is based on that sign of the Shang, right, which means up, basically heading towards the victory, and this is how it's designed, even though again that's why it has a lot of the flowing turns, even though nowadays it's simply written as just 2 straight lines. So over here you can see obviously that was along with the Bahrain circuit, and along also I would say with Malaysia's Sepang circuit. One of these new designs that we had, and here are our statistics. So you can see that we collected 4 victories. Obviously Rubens Barrichello got that very first win over there. Michael Schumacher also got one, as well as Raikkonen and Alonso, and Vettel could have gotten one in 2018 if he wasn't taken out obviously by Verstappen, which we hope it won't happen. We obviously have 2 poles. One is also courtesy of Vettel, and 2 fastest laps. So to be honest, it is a little bit of a far cry from Australia, where we are basically 2 times as successful, even though 3 times as successful, even though we only run maybe 2 more GPs, hardly 2 more GPs than here in China. 13 podiums though, so I think we can expect a pretty good decent race, similar to what we had last year. It would be great if we could challenge for a victory, but yeah, these are the statistics, right, that we have over here. Actually maybe I will be able to surpass them soon again, so not that much to be proud of, but again, a lot of history to be written. So how does the Drivers' Championship look like? So let's take a look at the F1 Formula 1 drivers in the 2025. This is the Drivers' Championship, how it looks like at the moment. So let's go over it. Lando Norris over here is leading obviously with 25 points. There's no point for the fastest lap, so otherwise he would have gotten 26. Second is then Max Verstappen with 18 points, George Russell having 15 points, and then you cannot still find any Ferrari driver. Andrea Kimi Antonelli with 12 points, number 4. Number 5, Alexander Albon with 10 points. 6, Lance Stroll, 8 points. Look at that. I'm sure Stroll family will be happy about that. 7, Nico Hülkenberg doing really well with 6 points, outscoring the total if Kick Sauber for the whole of 2024. And then here we have 8, Charles Leclerc, 4 points. So as you can see, then we have 9, Oscar Piastri, 2 points, 10, Lewis Hamilton, 1 point. Even though it says PTS here, that should be just PT, right, for 1 point. 7-time world champion, only 1 point. Well, it would be again a long shot, but both of the drivers can be leading the world championship, but we basically have to go for a victory and hope that Norris wouldn't do well, and Verstappen and Russell that they basically wouldn't be able to finish anywhere near the podium, and then you would be able to easily with a 25 points jump pretty much all the other drivers. So it's at the beginning of the season, so there is a lot of potential again to kind of go for a race victory. The weather might not be that changeable like in Australia. We will see though. Again, it often rains in China, so we will see what happens. It is not a sprint weekend this time. Obviously, it was in 2024, so less points on offer. But then again, I do believe that we could definitely Springer surprise, we definitely have a pretty good pace. But again, only the victory will do. I have to say though that we in qualifying I would put the target of being within a tenth or two of the pole position. Obviously, if we can get a pole position, that would be great. And yeah, we have to try to get a race victory over here. Definitely at least the podium. Otherwise, there would be some serious doubts creeping in. But I think we can do it because we do understand probably what was wrong during that race in Australia. The other contestants will be Pierre Gasly, who's 11 on 0 points, 12 Yuki Tsunoda 0 points, 13 Esteban Ocon 0 points, 14 Oliver Berman 0 points. So far not classified because they crashed out. A lot of rookies like Jack Doohan, Fernando Alonso, well, obviously that's the most experienced driver in history, but still crashed. Then Gabriel Bortoleto and Isaac Hadjar, Liam Lawson, all of these rookies, and the ex-Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz being at the bottom of the standings at the moment. So again, a lot to play for in this Drivers' Championship battle. How about for the Constructors? So in the F1 Formula 1 teams, 2025-2025, you can see McLaren over here leading with 27 points, Mercedes being second, 27 points, because obviously they haven't won the race. So again, it looks very exciting there at the top, but the Mercedes were nowhere near the pace of McLaren, especially in a race. Third, Red Bull Racing, 18 points, bit of a surprise, they got so many points. Fourth, Williams, 10 points. Oh my god, where is Scuderia Ferrari? Well, fifth, Aston Martin, 8 points, 6 Sauber, 6 points, 7 Ferrari, only 5 points. That pit stop, obviously, that that was very costly. It could have been 1-2, could have been amazing 43 points instead of it's mere 5. But once again, if we do win, then only one win could still propel us to the lead of the championship. Obviously, if we get a 1-2, then we would have gotten 43 points, and unless the McLaren would obviously finish third and fourth, then collecting 22 points, that would still not be enough for them, would be, because that would be the only situation, third and fourth place, that they could have still keep their lead, or if Benz did the same. So for Scuderia Ferrari, if we get a 1-2, we are almost guaranteed to go to the top of the standings. Again, I definitely expect that Scuderia Ferrari, we will not be seventh in the championship. I do hope that we will be at least fourth. Otherwise, we're not going to have a good race. We gotta get ahead of Williams, Aston Martin, and Kick Sauber, and we should be able to challenge Red Bull for the third place. That's more of probably more realistic assessment. And all of the teams have already classified in the championship. So 8 is Alpine, 0 points, also suffering with the conditions like us. 9 Racing Bull, 0 points, and 10 Haas, 0 points. So over here, this is how it looks like, and this is basically the results that we need to get in order in order to be able to lead the championship. So wish us definitely good luck with that. I'm pretty sure that it will definitely be possible. But then again, there are lots of things that can happen. With regards to my very own performance, I said 1 pole position over here in 2010, which was pretty handy. But then obviously I didn't do so well in the race. I only finished 8. But I won the 2016, 2016, and 2017, 2017 edition. So I scored 2 victories. Also scored the 2 fastest laps during these races. And obviously we haven't run in 2023. But I'm sure that 2024 spring weekend will bring many victories to me, right? Of course it will. So really cannot wait for that. It's gonna be pretty amazing. Again, I also scored 2 podiums, obviously the courtesy of the 2 wins. The funny thing is that only solitary pole position, so it would be quite amazing and actually quite historic even if we, as Scuderia Ferrari, would have gotten a pole position, because for whatever reason that qualifying in China always goes wrong for Ferrari. So here you have it. Here you have the wonderful race introduction, which is now becoming a staple of this 2025 Formula 1 season with Jan, the smiling sun champion, Ferrari's biggest fan and Ferrari's fastest driver. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Well, now it's time, to see how exactly the practice will pan out. And then we will go to the hot and red laps, qualifying, and then the race victories, right? So let's go! Let's race! Forza Ferrari! And let me know how you like this new polo fashion. Obviously, this is the second fashion that we are introducing for the second race over here. How do you like it? Let me know in the comments below. You can see it's a little bit different than the team shirt. This team polo obviously has more of these white kind of the lines that are on the edges. So let me know how you like that. But anyways, the most important thing is to get back on the track, to get back our title challenge, and let's start winning Forza Ferrari!